Hey Sean, can we put the Fox back on?
How's it going, guys? We got Eric's Jeep in the shop again. We're going to be swapping out the old Fox 2.0 performance shocks that he had on there, and we're going to be putting on these Kings, get you guys a little bit of a unbiased comparison between the Fox and the Kings.
We're out here in Johnson Valley right now. We're testing out the shocks. My first impression is that the Kings seem to be a lot looser. There's a lot more feedback from the road in terms of being like less controlled.
Yeah, I mean, even as a passenger, I can tell the Fox 2.0 does seem to provide a little bit smoother of a ride. I know, like, even we came from the pavement, and it was just a little, I don't know, a little rough around the edges. It seems like
I feel like jittery is the word, and less confidence inspiring in your like day-to-day ride, which was only more pronounced when we got off-road. So just to get another perspective and opinion, we're going to have Sean hop in. Sean's got his Ram. It's got a very similar setup for the suspension. Granted, my wheelbase is a little bit shorter, but this should definitely, you know, give him an opportunity to see what it's doing.
Yeah, we're going to check out the Kings. We just switched this thing over from Fox, so very curious.
There's a lot of bounce. It felt better on the whoops, but like when we were doing that fast driving on the way in,
yeah,
it definitely was noticeably shaky.
Actually, yeah, it feels like... Is the sway bar disconnected right now?
No. It's all two-wheel drive, just...
Yeah, normal. Yeah, because the front actually feels like washy.
Yeah, hit this little thing quick. Just feel that.
Oh, like...
Yeah, there's a lot of like that micro jitter.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there is a lot of micro jitter. Like, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, it almost feels like the front's a little... It definitely feels washy around the turns.
But even now, we're not going that fast. You still feel a lot of like... It almost feels like a tire's like not properly bolted. But,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I was kind of feeling too. I was like, I was almost like not saying it because I was like, yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I distinctly remember the Foxes almost feeling like, I was like, oh, these are actually pretty...
The Foxes were stiffer in
Yeah,
comparison all around, but it was more control and it was more confidence inspiring. Yeah, this feels like there's a flutter up there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you feel that on the highway too.
Oh, yeah, see, that's another thing too. I'm like, if it feels this washy right now on these turns, you probably do get a lot more body roll on the pavement.
Yeah, there's a lot of body roll. There's a lot of that jitter flutteriness, and it's at all speeds. But when you're on the highway, I mean, you feel the whole truck, the whole Jeep is just letting you know what's going on.
Yeah. And it's hard, you know, I don't want to push it too hard too, because you're not showing gear in here, but...
I mean, I feel like it's a pretty solid representation of what we're getting out of this package, and with nothing changed other than the shocks. It's with a big,
pretty noticeable difference.
Very noticeable difference.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if you know if these shocks respond better to different systems. You know, if it's an independent system is going to work better, but this is noticeably just.
And there could also be you know, it might have been lucky that the Fox setup was valved more in line with for this kit. Because Metal Cloak does talk about how they especially tune their shocks for their kid and what they're expecting the kit to be used for. But seeing how it's both the same lengths, both by competing brands, Fox and King, you'd expect them to be pretty close to valve for what they're expecting the customer to be kind of using it for.
Oh, you know what? There was one other difference. The only other difference between the setup how we had it before and now is we were using the shock relocation bracket previously.
Okay.
We bypassed it to put these on.
So are these mounted to the stock location?
Correct.
Oh.
So maybe that could have a little bit of a difference. I know Brandon, because of the size of the screw that we needed, we mounted at the stock location versus the Metal Cloak bracket, because the Metal Cloak bracket had a bigger bolt that had to go through. So that's the only other major difference that would be noticeable.
Yeah, I mean that honestly that could be doing it, because now you're looking at mounts that are, the ride zone is now basically an inch, almost probably might be an inch different like that way. Might be an inch different.
Well, and also maybe the geometry of the angle, if that makes the difference. But other than that, everything else is the same, and that's only in the front. The back is no change.
Yeah, on the front especially. A lot of bounce, more bounces than I was expecting. I don't remember pushing as hard on the Fox as we just did right now, but there's a lot of roll. And it feels, in the Fox, like it actually feels more planted, and like you could feel the bigger tires kind of. Here it feels like, it is definitely different. I don't know how to explain it yet.
Cool.
I want to try it out on the rocks also to see because then you can also see
if it's articulating more.
The body roll will really kind of play itself out when you're doing that as well. Trails. What do you think of the new Kings?
Can we put the Fox back on? No, but in all reality, we've been running the Fox 2.0s for about 10, 15, maybe 20,000 miles. And we just changed over to the King 2.0s. I was really excited to get those on because a lot of my friends in the 4Runner community use them. I know some Jeep guys that use them as well, and they really like them. And I just noticed a big difference in the confidence of the Jeep on the trail today. There was a lot more motion, a lot more jittery feeling, and a lot more feedback from the road, but not the feedback that I wanted. More of when I'm trying to go fast over whoops or ride over some washboard stuff. I just really felt like the front end was moving a lot. I know you drove it. What was your opinion on these?
Was it doing it on the pavement too?
I was feeling this on the freeway on the way over here, and ever since we put them on, I did mention to Jeff that I've been feeling some road noise. I thought maybe that would translate to potentially some benefit off-road, but I definitely wasn't feeling that today. It just, in comparison to the Fox 2.0s, when we put them on, they looked identical, just different stickers. The blue anodize on the Kings is definitely a big feature that people look for, but in terms of confidence off-road, and just how they feel on road, your general day-to-day driving, I feel like there's a lot more noise that I wasn't expecting. Noise in terms of like road feedback and bumps, and you know, even if you just cross lanes and you hit those little bumps in the middle of the road, you feel every one of them. So.
Yeah, when I was out here, and I took it for the run around, you know, the rocks and some of the high speed stuff, low speed stuff, your general desert maneuvering. The one thing I kept noticing was as you're turning, it feels just really kind of washy, and there's a lot of like the body kind of definitely dives a lot in whatever direction you're kind of turning. The one thing I do remember about Fox is the body roll felt significantly less. Granted, I didn't, you know, that was driving it, you know, what, 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, so it's hard to remember that much, but like I still believe there's quite a significant difference in in particular the low speed handling. We didn't get into kind of the high speed handling, too many of the whoops out here, because this Jeep is not really meant to handle the whoops. So we did some of that to kind of get the feel and the catch of the suspension, which still felt pretty nice. There was no top outs, no bottom outs that we really encountered, but honestly, a lot of a Jeep's maneuverability is more on the pavement for your daily driver, and B, also, you know, on the slow stuff, coming off of rocks, just kind of your general easy, slow going maneuvering. I definitely noticed that a lot, and I like the Foxes as well. Like I thought, you know, honestly, I was like, you know, you have a fresh approach to everything, you know. So I was like, well, I want to see myself as well, but I definitely agree.
I feel like if I'm gonna choose a day-to-day shock in this price point,
that's the most important part right there.
I think that the Fox, you know, it really did me well for the time that I had it. We went to Colorado, we went to Moab, we went to you know, Anza Borrego, a bunch of different places off road. And I tried it out in a lot of different conditions, and I didn't find that there was a place where it didn't do well enough where I felt uncomfortable. And having these on for the last week or two, I definitely am noticing that it's a difference, and it's a noticeable difference, and it's something that
it's not the difference you want though.
No, it's definitely it's definitely something that I was surprised, because I thought, you know, King was going to be
plush for everything.
Yeah, just over the top. I'm definitely, you know, interested in maybe trying out some adjustables. You know, I think our level of driving is picking up, and we're going faster and trying to do different things. So, you know, something where you can adjust it for on-road and off-road and make the different changes would be definitely something that I think would be interesting. But if I'm going for the 2.0 so far of the ones I've tried, Fox.
Nice. Well, we do have some adjustability in the near future. We're kind of debating the Falcon 3.3s, the SDI electronic adjustments.
That's the one with the interior.
Yeah, the interior fanciness. And then the Bilstein 8100s are definitely coming soon for this.
I can't wait to get those on.
I know, I can't either, but baby steps.
Well, yeah, it doesn't make sense to put those on and then switch to something like, you know, to go from the 8100s to these Kings. I'd probably cry.
So. Well, we're gonna get we're probably gonna, we might not put the Fox back on. We might make you suffer some more in the Kings, and then we'll go to an adjustable thing, and we'll see how those feel. But what do you guys want to see next? Falcon, Bilstein, the Metal Cloak 6-pack. What else is out there? Fox 3.0s, King 2.5s. There's a lot of options, and we're gonna run all of them through this Wrangler. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's catch you next trail.